And good evening from New York. I'm Velshi in for Chris Hayes. After just 2 weeks in power and an historically chaotic vote for Speaker, House Republicans are kicking off their first high-stakes standoff, and it is all about the debt ceiling, a familiar topic, but the circumstances this time are quite different. On Friday, the Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen announced that the United States will hit its debt limit this coming Thursday. The debt limit is the maximum amount, according to law, that the federal government can borrow to pay for its obligations, to pay for things it's already spent money on. That includes all of the really important functions of government, everything from air traffic control to Medicare and Social Security payments. Congress decides what that limit is. So Secretary Yellen wrote to House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, warning him that it is, quote, critical that Congress act in a timely manner to increase or suspend the debt limit, end quote. She went on to explain that, quote, failure to meet the government's obligations would cause irreparable harm to the U.S. economy, the livelihoods of all Americans, and global financial stability, end quote. All of that is true. To be clear, if the United States government defaults on its loans, that would not be a small thing. It's not like paying your credit card bill a few days late. The entire worldwide modern financial system is built on the idea that the United States government is the safest borrower on the planet. But Republicans seem intent on playing with fire with this one. The Washington Post reports that House Republicans are preparing a plan telling the Treasury Department what to do if Congress and the White House don't agree to lift the nation's debt limit, showing how they are, quote, preparing to threaten to not lift the debt ceiling without major spending cuts from the Biden administration. Now, I know what you're thinking. We've been here before. Many times. Republicans have made threats. They've even shut down the government a few times on this issue. But sometimes, well, someone always backs down in the end. We'll never fail to raise the debt ceiling. This is all a game of chicken. That's what you're thinking, right? And you might be right. I hope you're right. But I don't think we should underestimate the resolve of these Republicans who have already demonstrated that they are prepared to burn the whole House down. Just listen to the Congressman James Comer of Kentucky. It's not a random congressman. He is the chairman of the House Oversight Committee, and he does not sound like he's going to back down.
We cannot continue to operate with these types of deficits. Our national debt is one of our biggest threats to our national security. China continues to have leverage over us because of the basic financial strength of their overall economy versus ours with respect to the national debt. So Republicans were elected with a mandate from the American people in the midterm elections. We campaigned on the fact that we were going to be serious about spending cuts. So the Senate's going to have to recognize the fact that we're not going to budge until we see meaningful reform with respect to spending.
All right, so this time the debt ceiling fight is different. For one, the politics are different. The motivations of this new Republican caucus are not clear. It does not appear that they're motivated by self-preservation, considering that voters do not tend to like it when their representatives do things that could thrust America into the economic abyss. And that is what could happen here, because the overall economic situation is also different. Now, right now, we've got a pretty stable economy. Unemployment remains historically low. Wages continue to rise. We're seeing positive economic growth, but we're in a delicate place. 2/3 of economists surveyed by the World Economic Forum say that they expect a global recession this year. And crucially, we have inflation. It's coming down, but it's still 3 times as high as we'd like it to be. And there is a big problem with having inflation and a recession at the same time. And here's why. Because you fight inflation by raising interest rates. That discourages people from spending and cools down the economy. But you fight recession by lowering interest rates and encouraging people to spend. And you cannot do both of those things at the same time. If we get ourselves into that position where there is no remedy for the problem, inflation and recession, we could be in for a very difficult few years. Economic growth would be low. Home prices would collapse. Jobs would be lost. Your 401k would be devastated. That's why this is such a dangerous time for Republicans to be playing around like this. If they decide not to lift the debt ceiling, it will undoubtedly start a fiscal showdown that will have major consequences for the American people, probably for the globe. So when they make these threats, they are really playing with your prosperity and that of the whole country.